The Reverend, the Chaplain to the University.
Let us pray. Veni Sancti Spiritus, replitorum corda fidelium, et tui amoris in eis ignem accendi, qui per diversitatem, linguarum cunctarum, gentes in unitate fidei congregasti. Come, Holy Spirit, fill the hearts of your faithful, and kindle in them the fire of your love. For you are the one who, in spite of differences in language, gather the nations into a unity of faith. Amen.
Friends, may I extend an enormously warm welcome to this afternoon's graduation ceremony on a truly crisp northeastern day, and I hope you enjoy yourself hugely. Fel Chakil Lahaden, Du Humanahed Olhai Ubadean. Please be seated. Dr. Scott.
Vice-Chancellor, graduates, ladies and gentlemen, welcome. Welcome everyone to the splendid surroundings of the Elphinstone Hall for this joyous occasion of the ceremony of your graduation from the University of Aberdeen in 2016. You graduates are joining a long, long list of famous, infamous, and also wonderfully normal human beings that have all graduated from this university for over 500 years. Now that you're going to be alumni, it is well worth checking the pages of who you will share this glory with. The University of Aberdeen has populated the world with many renowned scholars, mathematicians, physicians, philosophers, writers, zoologists, in recent years, even BBC presenters, and some of our more colorful politicians. However, over these 500 years, of course, many things have changed. This last year, in fact, just the last 6 months, has seen what appears to be somewhat overwhelming changes, and there is currently an undeniable heightened sense of uncertainty about the future. These are not easy times we are all now facing. Today is a beginning for you, a beginning in a world that is full of challenges. When you come off this stage, you will be a member of what many will consider an elite group. And it appears that one of the reasons for the recent increase in divisiveness in society is that many people feel ignored by elites. So what we all have to remember, and what has not changed in 500 years, is that we are all human beings. We all respond well to kindness and to respect, and that no one deserves to be powerless. Therefore, it is well worth remembering all those other graduates of the past that once sat where you are sitting now, facing equally worrying, if not worse, prospects in whichever year they graduated in the last 5 centuries. How did they cope? What did they go on to do? And most importantly, how have they made the world a better place to be? Certainly, you are not alone in facing uncertain times and perhaps not being entirely sure of where you go from here. In fact, I think it might be fate that I got asked to give this opening address this year of dramatic change, as my own graduation many years ago now in Canada happened in a year of very high uncertainty about the future, as we saw interest rates soar to 13.5% and unemployment rates hit an all-time high since the Depression. With no local job prospects and a quick calculation of what I would owe for my student loan in no time at all, I embarked on what all of my friends considered a crazy Alaskan fishing adventure, where I left the comforts of Vancouver to spend a few years working within the fishing industry, literally jumping between enormous Korean and Taiwanese fishing boats in the Bering Sea, and wrangling with angry, bearded Alaskans over what my boat was going to pay them for a ton of pollock. Eventually, I found my way back to academia, with experiences that, despite being totally unpredictable and not all positive, are many of the reasons I have had a successful and rewarding career. We do not know what is around the corner, but we do know that over the last 500 years, many things have stayed the same. The ability to make opportunities from adversity always comes down to you and to a positive can-do attitude. And I hope that all of you have this attitude, because look at what you can do. You are here today to receive your well-earned degree. You have worked hard to get here. There were those initial periods of high insecurities over issues such as, is this really what I want to do? Am I smart enough? Will I meet interesting people? Will people find me interesting? And as you have grown confidence, gained friends, and realized that the more you put into your studies and your interactions with your fellow students and teachers, the more you really enjoyed the active learning and the mastering of new knowledge. Even if your next step isn't clear to you yet, you are here with success in your pocket. And the added bonus of living on a student budget all these years, leaving you with the ability to be quite canny with your money. Well, at least most of you. Now, graduates, I want you to take a moment and think. If you could come up with one word that encapsulates how you feel about your higher education experience, a word that encompasses all the highs and even the lows of your university days, what would that word be? And now, when I count to 3, can you graduates, with feeling and out loud, please say this word? 1, 2, 3. Okay. Well, that sound tells me that you all had a wide range of rather unique and unforgettable memories. Please keep this moment, these emotions safe, and use the memory of this moment any time in the future on perhaps a less eventful day to pull those feelings up and remember this day and all you've experienced while you've gained here. Now, what you should also be thinking about today is all the people on the other side of the room and those who could not be here today, who have helped you and supported you to be here. They may have helped you in so many different ways, from words of encouragement, emotional and financial support, to providing the meals, and possibly doing more than their fair share of looking after kids. So please, let these people know how much you appreciate what they have done for you and give them an enormous cheer and round of applause. Now, to those of you over here on this side or watching as the supporters of these graduates, it's your turn to think of a word that sums up how you feel at this moment. Thinking back over all that you may have had to do to help to get your daughter, son, spouse, brother, sister, or friend to this point. So please take a moment now to think of what word sums up all the emotions squirming around in you right now. And now you can all, when I count to 3, say with feeling that word out loud. 1, 2, 3. Yes, a much more unanimous feeling of bursting pride, I think is what I heard, and happiness to see this day arrive. Graduates, remember this as well. Today is a beginning for you. Your next adventure awaits you. Please consider the possibility of turning adversity into opportunity and appreciate that often inconceivable or invisible paths can take you where you want to be. But remember, it does all come down to you. Now, although this historic graduation looks quite formal, I hope you've got the idea we would like it to be relaxed and exuberant as well. We like to hear that spontaneous clapping and loud cheering as the graduates proceed up the platform to receive their degrees and descend from this stage as new members of the Aberdeen graduate family. Film and photographs are encouraged. Please be as loud and cheerful in your congratulations to the graduates as you possibly can. We celebrate with you today. Please accept my personal congratulations and those of all of my colleagues here on the stage. This is your day. It's your ceremony, and we are very proud to enjoy the moment with you. Congratulations once again.
Thank you, Dr. Scott. Dr. Bridgell.
Vice-Chancellor, Pro-Chancellor, I have the honor of presenting to you for the award of the degree of Dr. Honoris Causa Nicholas Andrew Argyle Campbell. If the events of the past year have made anything clear, it is the importance of fair, honest, and unbiased journalism. Nicky Campbell has dedicated his life to just this type of reporting, bringing news about topics as diverse as consumer affairs, European election results, adoption and family reunions, and the independence referendum, among others, to the wider public. Although he started his career as a jingle writer for Aberdeen's own North Sound 1, he swiftly moved from the light entertainment of Wheel of Fortune to interviewing influential public figures and politicians, such as Tony Blair, Salman Rushdie, and F.W. de Klerk for the BBC. There is little I could tell you about Nicky Campbell that you don't already know, his face and voice being familiar in British homes since the 1980s. But rather than simply list his achievements, I would like to highlight what is so significant about them and why we are honoring Nicky here on stage today. Firstly, what is perhaps most impressive about the list of Nicky's accolades and achievements is not necessarily the quantity, although that is certainly of note, but the breadth of experiences. Nicky Campbell has demonstrated that a host of Top of the Pops can also provide viewers with more than just diversion. And that is not to diminish by any means the important role that entertainment has to play in society, where we are burdened on a daily basis with discouraging news from around the globe. But it shows that you can do both. You can be an entertainer and an educator. You can be a personality and a thinker. You can keep the troops entertained and also informed. This is what Nicky Campbell has done, and done well, throughout his career. Aside from his work reporting news, Nicky has also shared his personal experiences, translating them for public consumption, something that I think makes the work of many good artists and journalists great. Nicky has been outspoken about his own story of being adopted, both through his 2004 book, Blue-Eyed Son, Story of an Adoption, and by presenting on the series Wanted, A Family of My Own, on ITV in 2014. Using the platform of his métier to bring his personal story to a wider public, he has helped, influenced, and informed a range of individuals, either grappling with similar experiences or simply unaware of the complexities of these life stories. Finally, it is worth mentioning that Nicky is a 1982 graduate of the University of Aberdeen. To me, he represents the potential that we, as lecturers and professors, see in our students every day. In response to that oft-posed question, what can I do with a humanities degree? One could list the achievements and accolades that line the pages of Nicky Campbell's CV. Presenter at Capital FM in London from 1986 to 1987, and then on BBC Radio 1 from 1987 to 1997. Host of BBC Consumer Affairs program Watchdog from 2001 to 2009, and current host of The Big Questions, a Sunday morning faith and ethics program on BBC One. And the list goes on. What Nicky Campbell's depth and breadth of experience shows is that with hard work and determination, there is plenty you can do with an honors degree in history, and he has certainly done much with it. His contributions are thus of a significance and magnitude that I ask you, Vice Chancellor, to award the degree of Doctor Honoris Causa to Nicholas Andrew Argyle Campbell.
Ego te doctorum et magistrum honoris causa constituo creo proclamo renuntio et in signum caput tuum hoc filio orno quod hoc fides faustumque sit Deum optimum maximum precor. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Miss McLennan.
Vice-Chancellor, I have the honour of presenting to you for the award of Degree Doctor Honoris Causa, Judith Murray. Sport at the University of Aberdeen is not just a membership. For our students, it is a way of life. It is clear from Judy Murray's dedication to sport, tennis in particular, that this is a view she shares. Growing up in Bridge of Allen, Judy did not have access to indoor tennis courts, so she played tennis in the summer and badminton in the winter. This led to her successful junior and senior career, during which she won an amazing 64 titles. After competing professionally in 1976, she decided to dedicate herself to coaching for both her sons and members of her community. Since then, she has coached multiple players at regional and national level under the auspices of the British tennis governing body, the Lawn Tennis Association. In late 2011, Judy was elected to lead the British Federation Cup team as their captain. She said she took the job, in part, to raise the profile of female coaches and address sexism in the sport of tennis. Judy Murray believes that there should be more female tennis stars, and this is demonstrated through her creation of the charity Miss Hits. This programme makes tennis welcoming and exciting for girls aged 5 to 8, which lets them access the sport early and encourages them to continue on into adulthood. Judy is also a member of the government's Women in Sport Strategy Group, where she is a great champion of increasing tennis's female workforce. As a university, we are very proud to say that we have an equal number of men and women competing in our sports clubs. However, we know this is relatively unique across Britain. Judy's work with the Women in Sport group is vital to reaching equality in sport across the board, not just for tennis. Judy is also a fierce advocate for making tennis affordable for all, fighting for it to be more accessible for people from less privileged backgrounds. Vice-Chancellor, for her leadership, for her advocacy of women in sport, and for her unsurpassed contributions to the world of British and especially Scottish tennis, I ask you to confer the degree of Doctor Honoris Causa on Judith Murray.
Ego te doctorum et magistrum honoris causa constituo, creo proclamo renuntio, et in signum caput tuum hoc filio orno quod ut felix faustumque sit, Deum optimum maximum precor. Congratulations. And now walking down the aisle towards me is Matthew Burns. And Matthew's a final year student reading for the degree of Bachelor of Music. and he holds the Duncan Hopkin Choral Scholarship in the choir of King's College, Aberdeen. As well as choral singing, Matthew takes leading roles in the Opera Society and in Baroque ensembles. And this afternoon, he's going to perform for us Under the Greenwood Tree by Ivor Gurney. Matthew.
Domini pro cancelari, Domini doctoris in magistri, et tota universitas. Presento verbis has candidatus examine probatus ad gradum magistratus in artibus liberalibus promovendus.
Annuente senatu placet promoveri.
Ascendat Jane Nichol.
Ego ea auctoritate quam summi et potentissimi principes alma huic universitatea amplissimum Middleserunt. Tean artibus liberalibus magistrum creo, in quies rei testimonium caput tuum hoc pilio orno quodit Felix Faustum quae sit, Deum optimum maximum plecor.
Quae honoris mero erant ascendant Claire Macaulay.
Et te creo.
Kira McGarity.
Et te creo.
Jane Pullen.
Et te creo.
Item presento verbis hos candidatus examine probatus ad gradum doctoratus in philosophia promovendos.
Annuente senatu placet promoveri.
Ascendant Iona Campbell.
Ego auctoritate quam summi et potentissimi principes alma huic universitatea amplissimum Middleserunt. Te in philosophia doctorum et magistrum creo, in quies rei testimonium caput tuum hoc pilio orno quodit Felix Faustum quae sit, Deum optimum maximum plecor.
Nikki Cassie.
Et te creo.
Andrea Christopher.
Et te creo.
Catherine
Ete Creo.
Matthew Firth.
Ete Creo.
Bethany Geary.
Ete Creo.
Amy Monaghan.
Ete Creo.
George Pandar Akalam.
Ete Creo.
Peter Ross.
Ete Creo.
Francesca Sartor.
Ete Creo.
Ryan Smith.
Ete Creo.
Amanda Trask.
Ete Creo.
Audrey Verma.
Ete Creo.
Atem presento verbis hos candidatos examine probatus a grada magistratus in arti investigationis promovendos.
Annuenti Senatu placet promoveri.
Ascendent Vitalis Jubinincus.
Ego auctoritate quam sumi et potentissimi principes alma huic universitatea amplissimum indulserunt. Te in arte investigatianus magistrum creo, in quies rea testimonium caput tuum hoc pilio orno quadet felix festum quae sit, deum optimum maximum precor.
Mark Hamilton.
Ete Creo.
Kelsey Paget.
Ete Creo.
Emma Sampson.
Ete Creo.
Casey Hand.
Ete Creo.
Katrin Martha Staniszewska.
Ete Creo.
Item presento verbis hos candidatos examine probatos ad grada magistratus in scientia promovendos.
Annuenti Senatu placet promoveri.
Ascendent Melis Bier.
Ego auctoritate quam sumi et potentissimi principes alma huic universitatea amplissimum indulserunt. Te in scientia magistrum creo, in quies rei testimonium caput tuum hoc pilio orno quadet felix festum quae sit, deum optimum maximum precor.
Femke de Boer.
Ete Creo.
Thomas Gibson.
Ete Creo.
Emily Haig.
Ete Creo.
Stanley Mastrantonis.
Ete Creo.
Katrina Murphy.
Ete Creo.
Christine Tatton.
Ete Creo.
Lucy Taylor.
Ete Creo.
Alejandro Hernando Pertiguera.
Ete Creo.
Lonica Huninga.
Ete Creo.
Julia Kessler.
Ete Creo.
Rachel King.
Ete Creo.
Heather Lyons.
Ete Creo.
Alice Scarpa.
Ete Creo.
Alessia Tarugi.
Ete Creo.
Gergu Zalatny.
Ete Creo.
Omolara Adeleki.
Ete Creo.
Ewan Badenoch.
Ete Creo.
Charlotte Coxon.
Ete Creo.
Andrea Ingram.
Ete Creo.
George Milev.
Ete Creo.
Marta Nicolaisen.
Ete Creo.
Ali Russell.
Ete Creo.
Emma Steele.
Ete Creo.
Jude Fielding.
Ete Creo.
Emma Gray.
Ete Creo.
Benjamin Isle Smith.
Ete Creo.
James Reed.
Ete Creo.
Yasmin Aksoy.
Ete Creo.
Sarah Moffat.
Ete Creo.
Taylor Sellers.
Ete Creo.
Sarah Butt.
Ete Creo.
Damien Carrington.
Ete Creo.
Kun Chia.
Ete Creo.
Polly Darby.
Ete Creo.
Athanasios Fotis.
Ete Creo.
Jack Gervin.
Ete Creo.
Abra Khan.
Ete Creo.
Constantina Constantara.
Ete Creo.
Vasiliki Malikorti.
Ete Creo.
Kangwa Konde.
Ete Creo.
Mark Pether.
Ete Creo.
Harikria Petsa.
Ete Creo.
Robin Taylor.
Ete Creo.
Omran Alamir.
Ete Creo.
Andre Chapuis.
Ete Creo.
Hannah Dye.
Ete Creo.
Stephanie Forrest.
Ete Creo.
Panagiota Pulu.
Ete Creo.
Jennifer Woolley.
Ete Creo.
Ricky Septiardi.
Ete Creo.
Martin Wolseley.
Ete Creo.
Item presento vobis vos candidatos examine probatos ad gradum baccalaureatus in scientia promovendos.
Nuentis in artu placet promoveri.
Ascendat Henry Bing.
Ego auctoritate quam summi et potentissimi principe salmae huic universitatae amplissimum indulserunt. Teum scientia baccalaureum creo, in quias rei testimonium caput tuum hoc pilio orno quodit Felix Faustum quae sit, Deum optimum maximum plecor.
Quae honoris mero erant ascendant Catherine Hughes.
Ete Creo.
Stuart Shepherd.
Ete Creo.
Andrew Hall.
Ete Creo.
Richard Lofthouse.
Ete Creo.
Eleanor Harding.
Ete Creo. Professor Hayes.
Vice-Chancellor, I have the honour of presenting to you for the award of benefactor to the University, the Fraserburgh Moonlight Prowl Committee. The Fraserburgh Moonlight Prowl Committee is based on a charity which works in Fraserburgh in Aberdeenshire. This committee, so named the Fraserburgh Moonlight Prowl Committee, is based on its main fundraising event, which is the Fraserburgh Moonlight Prowl, which is a walk in the town of Fraserburgh of either 6 or 13 miles in aid of supporting and raising funds for breast cancer research here at the University of Aberdeen and Aberdeen Royal Infirmary. In addition, they've worked tirelessly with a variety of other fundraising events to raise money for our research, including one event where for the first time in the United Kingdom, a lighthouse emitted a pink beam here in Fraserburgh, having persuaded the authorities to do that. No mean feat or task in these days of regulation. Well, since its inception in 2005, the committee has continued its activities for 10 consecutive years to raise funds for our research. And to date, they have raised a grand total of more than £800,000, which is an outstanding amount, unsurpassed. an outstanding amount which is unsurpassed by this committee and by the wonderful town of Fraserburgh. As a result of their work, our researchers have been able to undertake a variety of investigations into many different aspects of breast cancer, and their work is contributing to the treatment of my own patients and many other surgeons' patients with breast cancer in particular. The work has been crucial to supporting our laboratories to enable them to have state-of-the-art equipment, and also has allowed specific programmes of work in our internationally renowned Rowett Research Institute, for example, evaluating the impact of diet in the causation of breast cancer, also trying to help us understand which patients benefit best from chemotherapy, and very importantly, in helping us to support patients and their families through the cancer journey. But the work has gone further than this. It's also allowed some of our very best students to undertake doctoral training here at the university and equip them best to become the research leaders of tomorrow. But the work goes far beyond the university too, because their work has galvanised public opinions about breast cancer. It's brought together the whole community of Fraserburgh and District to come together to think and to work for others, for patients with cancer. The committee, chaired by Margaret Jane Cardno, has made an unrivalled contribution over this and a sustained period of time, and their work has had a substantial and significant impact on university research and, as I say, most importantly, for the benefit of our patients with cancer. Vice-Chancellor, for these and for their many contributions to the university, I ask you to bestow upon the Fraserburgh Moonlight Prowl Committee the award of benefactor to the university.
And now walking down the aisle towards me is Ewan Reid. And Ewan's an accomplished accordion player in his second year reading for the degree of Bachelor of Music, and who's been awarded the Derek Ogston Entrance Scholarship. And this afternoon, Ewan is going to perform for us Neil Gow's Lament for the Death of His Second Wife, The Hut on Staffin Island, and The Road to Glantown. Ewan. Professor Davis, promoter of graduates.
Item presento orbis hos candidatos examine probatus ad gradum doctoratus in philosophia promovendos.
Nuenti senatu placet promoveri.
Ascendant Mahasin Al-Najjar.
Ego auctoritate quam sumi et potentissimi principes almae huic universitate amplissum indulserunt. Te in philosophia doctorum et magistrum creo, in quies rei testimonium caput tuum hoc pilio orno quodet Felix Faustum quae sit, Deum optimum maximum precor.
Nu Faluda.
Et te creo.
Dorota Chapko.
Et te creo.
Neve Fingleton.
Et te creo.
Bernard Kirscher.
Et te creo.
David Miller.
Et te creo.
Joanne Mitchell.
Et te creo.
Temba Unduna.
Et te creo.
Brian Power.
Et te creo.
Mohammed Yusuf.
Et te creo.
Item presento orbis hos candidatos examine probatus ad gradum magistratus in scientia promovendos.
Nuenti senatu placet promoveri.
Ascendant Mihai Bodoni.
Ego auctoritate quam sumi et potentissimi principes amai huic universitate amplissimum indulserunt. Te in scientia magistrum creo, in quies rei testimonium caput tuum hoc pilio orno quodet Felix Faustum quae sit, Deum optimum maximum precor.
Aidan Dow.
Et te creo.
Margarita Jemeljanenko.
Et te creo.
Samuel Reed.
Et te creo.
Luqman Ahmad Jamil.
Et te creo.
Firaz Bazari.
Et te creo.
David Counter.
Et te creo.
Michelle Fernandez.
Et te creo.
Kirsty Gordon.
Et te creo.
Shabnam German.
Et te creo.
Emma Main.
Et te creo.
Yolanda Munez Belbontin.
Ete Creo.
Chuck Winonso Ngani.
Ete Creo.
Chuck Woody Oke Baram.
Ete Creo.
Eleni Papadatu Sulu.
Ete Creo.
Zoe Walker.
Ete Creo.
Maria Dimitriou.
Ete Creo.
Chintan Sangani.
Ete Creo.
Minia Vlad Tukanu.
Ete Creo.
Jonathan Wood.
Ete Creo.
Ana Sofia Alvarado Vasquez Mijado.
Ete Creo.
Christiana Ekezi.
Ete Creo.
Altine Kazizanova.
Ete Creo.
Sharon McClure.
Ete Creo.
Dina Tissera.
Ete Creo.
Ogadabrumi Wariri.
Ete Creo.
Karen Campbell.
Ete Creo.
Zoe Henderson.
Ete Creo.
Kirsten Hunter.
Ete Creo.
Sophie Little.
Ete Creo.
Marisol Perez Diaz.
Ete Creo.
Nicholas Smart.
Ete Creo.
Caitlin Taylor.
Ete Creo.
Tom Aird.
Ete Creo.
Celia Alvarez Campano.
Ete Creo.
Stephanie Andreas.
Ete Creo.
Adriana Flores Lopez.
Ete Creo.
Claire Houston.
Ete Creo.
Tahita Kenchana.
Ete Creo.
Maria Leboye.
Ete Creo.
Helen Mitchell.
Ete Creo.
Emma Mordaunt.
Ete Creo.
Dina Muharib.
Ete Creo.
Maram Saleem.
Ete Creo.
Laura Spina.
Ete Creo.
Christina Stewart.
Ete Creo.
Tisha Thomas.
Ete Creo.
Fergus Thompson.
Ete Creo.
Francis Vaughan.
Ete Creo.
Alison Wilson.
Ete Creo.
Vlad Mizalski.
Ete Creo.
Kelly Stewart.
Ete Creo.
Maria Louise Williams.
Ete Creo.
Sarah Barrows.
Ete Creo.
Billy Riddler.
Ete Creo.
Zoe Santu.
Ete Creo.
Celestine Effiong.
Ete Creo.
Maureen Heddle.
Ete Creo.
Karen Innes.
Ete Creo.
Catherine McRae.
Ete Creo.
Defi Marizal.
Ete Creo.
Todor Todorov.
Ete Creo.
Marcelo Nonato Sales.
Ete Creo. Dentistry will now administer the oath.
The graduates in dentistry will please stand. I ask each of you to take the following declaration as your own. I solemnly promise to use to the best of my knowledge and ability the art and science of my profession, for the good of those under my care, and to make the preservation and restoration of their health my constant aim. I shall keep secret anything I see or hear in my practice that should not be divulged. I shall constantly endeavour to improve my knowledge and skills within my profession and to share useful discoveries with my fellow practitioners, whom I promise to hold in fraternal regard. These things I shall do for the benefit of those whom I seek to serve, and for the honour of the profession that I now join. Do you take this declaration as your own?
I do. Professor Davis, Professor of Graduates.
Item presento vobis vos candidatos examine probatus ad gradium baccalaureatus in dentium chirurgia promovendos.
Noventi senatu placet promoveri.
Ascendant Sushruta Mohiti.
Ego auctoritate quam summi et potentissimi principes almae huic universitatea amplissimum indulserunt. Teum dentium chirurgia baccalaureum creo. In quiest rei testimonium caput tuum hoc filio orno quadet felix fastumque sit. Deum optimum maximum plecor.
Victoria Muller.
Ete Creo.
Kazim Munir.
Ete Creo. Dr. Campbell.
Well, I cannot believe, I knew this was going to be special, but I really can't believe how deeply moving it has been. I've had a tear in my eye for the last 2 hours. I actually did my final exams in this hall, and when I came in, I had a shiver, and it was nothing to do with the weather. But I love this place. I love this place so much, and I cannot thank you enough, Vice-Chancellor, and all these distinguished people, and to share this day with Judy and with the fantastic Fraserburgh Four, but most of all, to share this day with you. And I congratulate you, because what you've achieved is magnificent. I remember the day that I was you in 1982. Goodness me. And Mum was there then, and she's there now, and she was taking photographs then, and she's taking photographs now. And I pay tribute to her, and I pay tribute to all of you. Thank you so much. I'm so proud, and thank you. And my wife Tina is here, and she'd never been to Aberdeen before, and looking around, and we were shown around by a lovely man called Graham. She said, God, this is beautiful. I'll never forget that. This is an amazing place. I normally do these things all off the top of my head, but I've written some stuff down here because I want to say things, and I don't want to forget anything. But I do want to say that my very good friend Ian Glenn received an honorary degree a few years ago. He's a great actor, not as good as I was at university, obviously, but he's in Game of Thrones, and we were talking the other day about all this by email, and I was thinking, if somebody had told us as we made our way home from the Union on the last bus home on a Friday night after shenanigans, a word we would not have been able to say, that one day we'd be getting honorary degrees, we'd have thought it unlikely, frankly. But memories everywhere as I walked around, and cherish this day and cherish those memories in every crevice of the sparkling granite, round every corner, all igniting the time machine in my heart. I want to mention my friend, the great Alan Robb, who passed on 6 years ago. And he's everywhere I go here. I see him, I hear the echoes of our laughter, the tears. There's so much laughter. He was president of the UMC, which is the Students' Association now. The dramas, the challenges, the lives, the loves, the lager. Mainly the lager and the laughter. And it feels right to remember him. I miss him every day. We were the scourge of Hill Head, me and him and Ian. And yes, I've got to say this, it was we who drove the motorbike into the main door of Hector Boyce Court, smashing it. The truth will out at last. And Vice-Chancellor, I'm hoping very much for a statute of limitations on that one, if I may. Everything's different now, but everything's the same. Nothing will ever change. Talented young people with a hunger for knowledge and a thirst for life. I came up here to cover the referendum, and I walked around and I couldn't believe it because everything was the same. There were Ians and Nickies and Elaines and Catherines and all my friends that you are us. But you all had these newfangled mobile phones. I couldn't believe it. In our day, it was a phone booth and 10 pence. And if the money ran out, you got the beeps. It's the equivalent of like the battery going flat, okay? Congratulations. And I got a 2-1. I was very proud of it, and it's always been a whisker off a first when people have asked me. So just remember that. 2-1, whisker off a first. 2-2, whisker off a 2-1. Third, whisker off a 2-1. Just remember that as you go through life. And we had grants in those days, so we never had it so good. But we are, everybody, at a pivotal moment in history. And an overused word, it's certainly in my history essays, a watershed in our history. As you step out there, you go into the world, and a planet of ours is facing unprecedented challenges. And we rightly question whether our political leaders are equal to the task of meeting them and coming anywhere near to solving them. We wonder if they will ever stop staring at their shiny shoes and looking at the horizon far beyond the political cycle, for that is what they need to do. And we are relying on you. We're relying on your generation to make this mad world see sense. You are the outriders. You are at the vanguard of sanity, and you must lead us. The senseless wars, the mindless bigotries, the unbearable inhumanity, the heartbreaking, greed-driven slaughter of majestic, sentient animals for trinkets and quackery, the destruction of the natural world, the beautiful heritage and bequest of geological time. We are facing the 6th great extinction. We are living through it. We are witnessing the horrors of climate change. We are witnessing the triumph of cupidity and the victory of stupidity. Right now, the Philistines are winning. The hucksters and the charlatans, the con men and the hate mongers. They call it post-truth politics. I call it lies. Experts are derided. Science is dismissed as, at best, a liberal indulgence. More often, they call it an insidious lie and a hoax to bamboozle good people. There are figures at the center of power in the White House who believe our planet to be 6,000 years old. And others cynically whip up this ignorance and whip up this fear and this phobia of complexity to incite this, and it's a scandalous intellectual Luddism, all about exercising and grabbing and using and abusing power. And this metaphorical and actual book burning is shameful, and it threatens us all. Yesterday, was it today, Donald Trump announced that funding is to be withdrawn from NASA's climate change investigation and research unit. Shame on him. The values of the Enlightenment are under siege, but you must fight this. You are beacons of hope. Because no generation has ever been so knowledgeable about the world. No generation has cared so much for this world as yours. No generation has been so well equipped to make the world better and so motivated to do so. No generation has had such connectivity and such a palpable appetite for change. The old certainties are crumbling around us. Historic questions are being asked, and you must, and I believe will, have the answers. In some ways, I wish I was sitting where you are now. I would relish that challenge. But congratulations. Congratulations on what you have achieved. What you have achieved is wonderful. What you are about to achieve is amazing. Go and change the world. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Dr. Campbell. And now, friends, will you stand and join me in singing God Save the Queen?
May the road rise to meet you. May the wind always be at your back. May the rains fall softly upon your fields. May the sun shine warmly upon your face. And until we meet again, may God hold you in the palm of his hand. Amen.